So it's really, really lonely and it's really exhausting. In fact, it's only social media that keep us like, going on. So yeah, it's definitely lonely. Unlike, my first child was born in Nigeria. I had so many help. In fact, I would just sleep. It's only when I need to breastfeed that I will, just get the baby breastfeed. My mom was there. My mother-in-law was there too. There was so many help. But now, it's not easy.
It's just you by yourself.
It's just me. And bills has to be paid, and that's what the husband is doing. Working, traveling. My husband.
You see, a lot of people have gotten the concept twisted. A lot of people believe that because they are making money abroad.
Right.
The only reason why it looks like you're okay abroad is because Nigeria is bad.
Oh yeah, of course. And then when you tell people it's not easier, they'll be like,
come to Nigeria, come and see stress.
Or come back.
Somebody that is earning 500,000 naira a month, which is a super salary in Nigeria of today. Not many companies will pay you 500K a month.
Of course, yeah.
That person is earning $480 a month.
Right.
Imagine that level of poverty.
I know. It's really crazy. And Nigerian people no one hear that. So they'll be like, come back now. If it's not working for you, then come back. Or let me come there now. We'll be suffering together. It's really depressing. At times I'll just sit there, go there cry, say, Lord, this is exhausting. I'll go there cry, say, God, wow. But Nigeria too is not really.
My Japa brothers and sisters, I love you and I appreciate you. Click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. Pop my money guns. Follow my #1 gifter. I appreciate you guys. Don't get it twisted. However, let us tell ourselves the real truth.
Right.
There is a real loneliness crisis abroad.
There is. And we Africans, we are kind of in denial as well. And depression is real. And we barely talk about it. We don't even want to talk about it because people will laugh at depressed. Sorrow, depression. And it's really something serious. It's crazy. But nobody go talk now. Just say, it's easy.
Now, Nigeria has really degenerated.
Right.
And we cannot lie to ourselves. There was a time in 2016, my basic salary from the radio was 360,000 naira a month. Dollar was about 175. So 360,000 naira a month was about $2,100.
Right.
So from my salary alone on the radio, it was $2,000. I've not talked about my extracurricular, all other things on the side.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So stop deceiving. Somebody said, stop deceiving people that abroad is boring. It is better than Nigeria 100%. You see, my problem with you, Equity Sports TV, my problem with you is poverty. Now they use George. You understand? It's like saying Toyota is the best car in the world. Because
right.
I drive Mercedes.
Because that's what you drive.
I tell you. Because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we're having a conversation about cars, and an old auntie was there, and the auntie was like, when I'm talking about Innocent, it was me and one of my friends from the BMW group. and we were talking about cars, and then we started talking about Innoson, and my guy was like, man, Innoson have a lot of work to do. So me, I was like, yeah, the government needs to assist them. The government needs to buy them, make them more, what is it called? More appealing, at least use them for Uber. All the Uber in Nigeria should be Innoson cars.
Right.
You understand? Let them not try and do luxury. Let them, those basic Suzuki, where will they do for Nigeria? Those basic Uber, instead of buying Uber Corolla, let them be buying Innoson.
Right.
That way, you're going to have them on every street. You're going to have a mechanic. Guess what? Lagos now don't partner with GAC Motors.
Wow.
Yes, it was released. I think I saw it on Sanwo-Olu's page. GAC is from China. I have one of their cars.
Right.
You understand? So while we're having this conversation, my old auntie that was there was like, they said that Innoson is a good car, that it is very strong. And we burst into laughter. So he said, why are you laughing? This guy is driving BMW. When you go into the market to buy a BMW, you are not looking for strong. You are looking for performance. You are not looking for strong. Strong, that's it. You want Bible to wait go last 20 years. Like for instance, me, I change my cars every 3 years. I'm not looking for strong. Right. I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for sound system that is crisp. When you are in a Mercedes Benz, my Mercedes has a Burmester. Just the Burmester sound system is $5,000 something. Just the option of the Burmester sound system. Because I want to sit down, I want to hear every note. When you are listening to Ashake, every go-go, you want to hear everything. We are not looking for strong. I'm going to change it in 3 years by the grace of God. I'm not looking for strong. I'm looking for comfortable. I'm looking for beautiful. I'm looking for, I match it, the car answers me. I rev it to hear boom, 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 boom. That's what I want. I don't want strong. I'm not using it to do taxi.
I know.
So we're having this conversation, and I realize that everybody is looking for something different. When you get money, you don't buy a car where they use to run around, and you want to buy a nice car. It's not strong you're looking for. It's beautiful, performance, comfort. Those are now what you're looking for. You see, those people that are telling you that Nigeria is bad is because suffering. Baba, if you see the kind of suffering within Nigeria, anywhere that will take you away from that suffering is better than Nigeria.
Right.
And I agree with you for that. If you are working abroad on a basic salary, you will be earning a minimum. You will be earning a minimum of, say, 20,000. I say 20. Let's say $5,000 a month minimum.
Right.
With that $5,000 a month, if you change it to Nigeria, now almost 6 million naira. It's actually 6 million naira.
Right, it is.
So if you, here's what, now let me break this down to you. When I was in the uni, we used to go abroad to hustle. I only did it once, but I had friends that used to do it regularly. Oh, it was sweet then. Because just imagine now, I go to the UK and I do all sorts of odd jobs for 3 months. And I make 5K, as in, I'm talking about America, if you can hustle.
Right.
3K regular, 5K if you can really hustle.
Also, right.
So you're going to work for 3 months like you want to buy.
Of course.
I had friends in school that used to do it. So they will work, imagine you work for no bills. You know why? Because you are a student, so you're probably living in a one room with somebody else. So every month you also out of that 5K, maybe you go spend 1K, 500. You go give your guy where they stay with as a rent. You understand? Then the bills, your food, because they did not come to enjoy abroad. So now straight hustle. So 3 months of $4,000 a month. That is $12,000 a month. That's about 15 million naira. So now they are not even going to come home with that $12,000.
Of course.
They are going to buy maybe 4 cars abroad, put them on a ship. You understand? The cars get to Nigeria. They now sell one at the port to clear the remaining 3.
Wow.
Then they come out with 3 cars worth like 8 million naira each. They are now left with 24 million naira as a student. Imagine 24M in your hand. You understand what I'm telling you? So that first time when you go hustle like say you want blind. The next holiday when you go like this, not only are you are going with 24 million naira, or it's equivalent in dollars. As you did the hustle, you don't buy motor, send, go Nigeria. When you hustle finish, you go buy another set, send, go. So you are now coming home with maybe 10 cars. You understand? So that is how some students were now able to go to the UK during the holiday. Sorry, go to the US during the holiday. Hustle. Some of them even did the that year. They will do credit card, hammer, use the money, buy car, come to Nigeria, sell. Before you know it, after like 2 years, they started driving Benz in school, as in they were living soft life. Then that abroad where they go, the 3 months, they go work 1 month. Then the remaining 2 months, they go chill, they go relax. The work they did is only to take care of them abroad and maybe save maybe $1,000-$2,000. Because the money where they carry from there, they don't even buy a car where they don't send, go house. So as they go back to school, they clear the cars. That's how some people entered automobile business. It sounds very enticing for a student. You are making the money there and bringing it home. It is a ball. It is a goal. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, when you relocate, come house, when you come back home, and when you go realize, say, no be as you plan them, na so it be. Now, when you reach house, now you go realize, say, it be as it gets.
Get as it be.
I don't know if I'm making sense to you. When you are now living in that economy, you see, when you are living in that economy and bringing the money home, oh, it is sweet.
It is.
If you are able to save $2,000 every month to go build house for Nigeria.
I know.
You go build house for Nigeria.
Of course, now. Honestly, if I know it's going to be this way, I would have preferred going back and forth, than deciding to relocate permanently. We just have that opportunity. We're like, well, Nigeria is not, getting better. Let's just settle down here and all that. That was what we were actually thinking about. And some people are saying, well, you are judging based on one person talking. And I believe that person is a man or something. It's most likely easier for the men, But as a woman, you sacrifice a lot. You understand? And to even work with raising kids. In fact, if you know how much it costs for child care services, you go come think, say how much you won't make self after you deduct that one from your income. Sure, you understand? So if it is men, maybe man free just wake up, just go say, okay, I'm going to also, for a long period of time, But being a woman, you have to consider your children as well, especially when they are young. I don't mean they are of age and they can take care of themselves. You can, definitely try to do some other stuff, leaving them behind. But once they are young, there's really nothing you can do. You don't want your child to be taken by those child protective services and all that letting them, So it's really not. My husband is fine. My husband is doing most of the work. I mean, I would say we are okay, taking care of all the bills. And a regular woman would be like, why are you complaining? Maybe is taking care of it. But it's kind of more boring and exhausting. Trust me, taking care of children last song is much more than working out there. I prefer to be working out there. If someone can be if he can be here taking care of these children.
Let me ask you a question. How much does your husband earn in a month?
Monthly, because he has his own business, right? He owns a trucking business, so he travels all around. He makes, at least in a month, I would say like 10K.
Okay. So that 10K after tax, how much does it come to?
Oh, it's actually 1099. If you know what I mean. 1099, you don't pay tax, but at the end of the day, they will have to take from you. You know,
Okay.
you understand? When
That 10K, is it after he has maintained the truck or before?
So that 10K, now you are getting to that 10K. From it, you have to buy, gas, diesel, whatever the truck uses. And maintenance of like 2 weeks ago, the truck has some mechanic, fault and all that. He has to take it to those dealers to take care of it. And he actually spent nothing less than $9,000 to even, fix the truck and, get it all fixed. So that 10K, we are paying mortgage, all other bills. And trust me, we are talking about recession everywhere. Our mortgage kind of skyrocket, like the price kind of went up, state taxes or whatever, like $500 more. Can you imagine all of a sudden, saying state tax? To just cook that story up, and all
that. Let me ask
that.
you a question. Let me ask you where I'm going with this. So let's imagine your husband was picked among 200 truck drivers in the US,
right,
who were given the option of using state-of-the-art robot drivers,
right,
where they don't have to drive because they are now, this automated driving. They are now given this option of doing automated service. So your husband doesn't have to drive the truck. All he has to do is when he wakes up in the morning, just program where the truck is going to go to. The truck is going to go there. They will load the truck. Then he will program where the truck is going to go and drop. Then on the way back, the routes of the truck until the truck comes back home. So he doesn't have to go there physically again. If he has a problem, the truck will by itself go to its dealership and get itself fixed. So your husband has done this for 2 months and realized that he doesn't have to go to work, that he can actually do this from any part of the world that he's in. And your husband says, you know what, my darling, every month we see like $6,000 and I don't have to be in the US to work and we have our papers. Let's go back to Nigeria. Would you go back?
I will jump on it, to my brother. I will go.
So the reason why you are abroad is because you are not making enough money in Nigeria.
Right. I wasn't.
If you had an opportunity to work remotely in such a way that you can actually live in Nigeria and work in that same America and make American money, would you relocate?
Oh, yes, I will. I can work remotely and still make that dollars. I will go back to Nigeria. What am I doing here? Yeah, there's much more fun in Nigeria. What people don't understand is, of course, Nigeria is, very bad now with the whole thing going on. So Nigeria, you go live for one house for 1 year. You are. In fact, you even think about renewing your rent, right? It will take you a year. Try it here in America. Don't pay your bills for 2 months or 3 months. You become homeless. Do you understand? So there's so much more in Nigeria that you can. There's even much you can, have fun in Nigeria. You can do so many things. There's no fun here. Anybody that say there's fun.
I don't know. Permit me to step in, right? I've been silent.
Please,
I just wanted
that's why you are here.
I just wanted to listen to her own perspective, right? I think everything is subjective. So one of the things I was fortunate to have when I was coming abroad is people telling me, you have to be intentional about building your own community. And when I say building your community, I don't mean like forming cliques or anything. I just feel like networking. You can't go and start all over again in another country and just expect like your old life to transition into that. You have to build it again, right?
Right.
So what happens is many people, it doesn't hit them that you're not just coming, touching down, and you're going to see a bunch of Nigerians and you guys will just carry on like, it's back home. Yes. So then when you now mix it again with cultural differences, so what we call fun is we like Owambe, we like groove, we like to, you understand, we like to link up, hey girl, what are you doing here? But here it's not like that because people work a lot.
Oh, yes.
So the reality is people work and when you find there are opportunities abroad, but when you come abroad, right, you finally see a situation where people are paying you, they're paying you $5,000, they're paying you $4,000. You're going to work every penny of that money. There's no employer that will just, and in Nigeria, it's mouth bosses used to boss like their employees, right? They'll say, you did not do this, get out.
Right.
Here, there are performance reviews. As much as not logging in and being responsive to emails and the timelines which you use to complete your tasks, they will pack everything at the end of the year when they're auditing their company. They'll say, this person wants to draw us back. They'll kick you out. You have to work every penny. When they pay you, even when they're offering you, like when you get an offer, it's usually based off of what they feel like, the experience you've gathered, your education. Then they will now analyze like, okay, this is what this person can deliver, and this is what we're offering. Of course, they lowball, but that's just it.
Right.
It's not easy abroad, fine. But why people say it's not easy is Nigerians are not used to this level of work and accountability.
Of course.
Yes. When you resume one job, you're like, when they're asking you questions, they're asking you for deliverables, you'll be doing an hour, but you have to keep up. So that's why, yes, it's overwhelming for the first.
In a job that I worked there for like 3 years, right? And all over that 3 years, I think the raise I got was, I think, it's not even up to $1, like 90 cents. Like I was getting.
You have to work the money. That's how they feel, right?
Then the funniest part is, it's their country. There's really not much I can. In fact, I had to quit because they were, getting on me back to back. I got promoted. I initially started as an associate, right? I got promoted to being an admin, so I wasn't some. And then, me being probably Nigerian, right? Their racism stuff. So they would, I just got no, I've not even been.
It's not the promotion. What happens to most Nigerians is the truth about the matter is one thing we don't speak about enough, and it's just so sad that Nigeria is the way it is now.
Right.
Before, I would say our education was world class because don't forget, they drummed book in our heads. Like the average Nigerian, Nigerian that Sakpa wants to finish still has something in the head. I work.
No, still has education.
Education, not something. Okay, let me be clear.
We not get sense. We have been book, but we not get sense.
I've worked with like a group of Canadians, and I'm like, what are these people talking? Are these people real right now? Like, how a simple task, and then I feel like us learning to rely solely on, all those are survival instincts that has taught us to do things either smarter or faster.
Right.
So how you approach like a task or a duty at work, some people have not finished figuring it out.
Right.
You figured it out because you're already, that's already how or who you are, how you are, right? But I will say one thing, a lot of Nigerians relocate with false expectations and they don't want to put in the work. And the truth about the matter is, I spent the last few years networking. I would say it was boring until I understood that no, it's cultural differences. Like I will have maybe white Canadian friends telling me, "Do you ski?" I don't ski, but for them is, man, it's time to ski. The snow is out, and I'm like, no, the snow is out. It's time to lock myself inside.
Right.
And for them, they're like, no,
It's
after
time to
skiing,
lock yourself inside and collect pregnancy.
no. It's not too long. Hey, you see, the typical Nigerian feels like, oh, it's cold. Let's go and Netflix and chill. No, these ones are like, it's cold. Let's go outside. Let's go to the mountain. They have activities that are just different, right? As they say, oh, for my birthday, I'm planning this. I'm planning a ski trip with my friends, or I'm planning to go kayaking. I'm like, bros, I don't like water. I know they just. I run from my village. We get canoe.
In for those Eve, I get, they have their own families here. Most of their old ones, once they get retired, what do? They take care of their grannies, like they have them around them and all that. If I was able to get, that kind of much help, it wouldn't be that much,
I think the help is the most overwhelming, especially when you have young kids. It is
overwhelming. In fact, I was working remotely at some point. Yeah, I was doing some customer representative job, and then the reviews. Once they hear some noise, background noise, then you get some ding for that. I'm like, and then I do make calls to these.
No, but sincerely speaking, right? On your offer, they would, or before they gave you an offer, they would have asked you, do you have a dedicated workspace at home?
Yeah. I do, but
what they mean by dedicated workspace is dedicated workspace. They don't expect your children to access you at that time, right? So when your children are accessing you, so that's what I'm saying. The thing with them is they always tell you beforehand. They don't spring things up on you. Nigerian employers can change their mind on it, but these ones, like the way they run things, a lot of companies run things even up to like having SOPs, like standard operating procedures. Everything's in detail. So when they ask you, do you have a dedicated workspace at home, they actually mean it.
Oh, they do.
Now, if you have a good boss that is willing to overlook it, fine. But some will say, no, you're a customer service representative and you are literally the voice of their brand. A baby cannot be screaming in the background, that kind of thing.
And then, and they have, like the SOPs, they have their rules and all that, right? You can't be on a call, hanging up on a customer and all that. But there are some instances whereby these people will be shouting as if fine, I'm representing a brand, right? I'm representing that industry, but they don't get it. I'm being hired to face you guys. I could remember I was working with some manufacturers that manufacture CPAP, right? And they had a recall. So this recall, it was then I actually get to know much more about what is really going on health-wise in this country. So they have a recall. And this thing, they can't sleep without it. It was then they are telling me, I can't tell them what to do, right? We're only asked to tell them, okay, we'll replace this item, but until further notice, just get with your physician, right? Your doctor to tell you what you can do. You'll be like, my doctor said I would die if I don't use it. What am I supposed to say? Okay, well, when do I get the replacement? I can't give you time. And we are working on it. But they'll be like, no, I can't. What do I do? I can't hang up my sister. I'll just be there. I'll just be like frozen because I get reviews on those calls. I'll be like frozen, like, madam, I know be me. Now waiting they say make I tell you, I tell you. But they will yell. In fact, I've been called names.
And that's another thing, right?
Names,
that's another thing.
You're this, you're that. I'm like,
that's another thing
I don't understand you.
I have this
English? Girl, I'm speaking English. What does it look like? It's really crazy.
That's another opinion I have about abroad, right? It also depends on what you spend your time doing. So some people say abroad is hard. Fine, when you start, it's okay to start with like regular jobs, but always explore becoming a professional. That's the only way you're going to get paid well as a career person is by being a professional at something. And if you're not doing that, you'll be amazed at the amount of business opportunities that are there. Like I don't mean to sound funny, but these people, they not get level in some areas of life. In Lagos, we're hustlers. They go chance are hustlers, though.
Oh, yeah.
I have to give it to, as in, like, Nigerians are hustlers. So when we come here, you see loopholes. Like, you mean these people, you're like, but as fine as this city is, you mean they don't have this, they don't have that. Yeah. You can leverage on those things, and the government will support your business. Like many Canadians.
Give a big shout out to Lizzie Clark 56. Lizzie Clark just popped a money gun. Follow my number one gifter if you're watching on TikTok. Pop my money guns. Follow my number one gifter. Double click the screen. YouTube people, where are my super chat, super stickers, and super likes? And I want to do that stingo behavior. No problem.
I want Tochi underscore special. I'm sorry. I just want to reply this person. Yeah, I'm actually not telling them that this is what they want me to tell you. I'm just saying it here. Why would I say that to them? It's not possible now.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is there are opportunities. Carry that to your hustle spirit. Like, the dollars are not welcoming you at the app. So if the problem is people think I've arrived now, I go just start to the cash out immediately. Right. The dollars are not going to be laid out like a red carpet for you at the airport. So come with that same hustle. We are not coming here to get comfortable. We are coming here to make the best of it and build a network. When I was like, okay, I need to build a network within my people, of course, Nigerians, and network outside of my people, so that I can be exposed to more things. You'll be surprised. I have a friend that built like a fintech software. He's in Florida, and he booked a boat. It's him and his guy, right? They're cracking their heads about how they want to sell their little baby that they just created, and they booked a boat in Miami there to just sail away, with a couple of friends, just to talk about it. It was that kind of fun but business type of sail away. The guy that was the owner of the boat, that was also sailor of the boat, heard their conversations. An old man, retired, and he's like, wow, I'd like to tap into this. And you're like, you like to tap into this? He's like, yes. And they didn't even know the man was a millionaire, and that was just one of his boats, right? Two Nigerian guys, they're Yoruba guys, are there in Miami, and the guy was like, by the next week, he was signing an MOU with them, and, he had a couple of friends he brought on board. A couple of them were advisory board members with one or two companies, and through their own, currently the software is in its beta phase testing, right? So opportunities are there. Like, they could have rented that boat and be popping champagne only. Right. The man would never hear that, and they would never know I'm coming. So so that's that. I just wanted to hop on it.
Workspace.
I have a dedicated workspace, but I work hybrid now, so I go to office.
No, I'm talking about your children.
No, they don't. Right now, they know that this is not dedicated workspace time.
It's actually great. I've tried to convince them all day.
You are not logged in at the moment.
And then the children are back from school again. So after work, we deal with children. It's really draining. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And people talking about networking and all that, you can't just, me as a person, I'm not the person that has, packed bunch of friends and all that.
It's not about friends. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said networking intention is different from just saying I want to have a clique of friends and do things in a clique. No, you have to even network outside of your familiar zone. Like, okay, if you meet somebody that is Israeli, don't feel taken aback to become their friend. You can just sometimes link up for a cup of coffee. Like, people really think differently from us, and you'll be surprised the number of people or the opportunities you can be exposed to just by trying. But you have to try. Like, what happens is Nigerians are like, oh, I've moved abroad. Can you imagine? Abroad is boring. That's because no party, of course. No party, no group. We are used to, like, doing our
We're
face,
very loud.
wearing gele,
They can
wedding every
be very
Saturday.
loud.
If it's not wedding, there's always something, right? But it's not like that here.
No,
Their own
not
idea of fun is different.
it is.
Okay. I want to say something here. Priye,
Yeah.
if you could live in Nigeria and earn what you're earning abroad, would you consider it?
I'll consider it, and as long as I can travel around the world.
Of course.
So
You have, like I said, do you have your Canadian citizenship?
yeah.
Does your husband have?
Yes.
Do your kids have?
Yes.
So what is stopping you from traveling around the world? The only
No,
thing
we're
is,
starting like we have this like grand plan to start very soon because we've been hustling for the last few years, to be sincere. Mommy, I'm on the phone.
that's what I'm saying. So
We've
imagine
been
you
hustling for
had
the
a
last
hustle
few
gig.
years.
You had a
Yes.
hustle gig that required you to work 8 hours, that requires you to work 8 hours remotely every day for 5 days, and twice a year you have to show up for meetings. So you can be in Honolulu as long as you have good internet and you're able to plug in for your 8 hours, do your bit, and then go away. You don't have to show up once a month or once a week. No, it's twice a year, once every 6 months. So you can literally live in any part of the world you want. Now, why am I saying Nigeria? If you bring your $5,000 to Nigeria, your children will go to the best schools. You will drive nice cars. You would live in a nice part of town. You will have the Nigeria vibe at a budget. Listen, if you're earning $10,000 combined, you and your husband, $10,000 a month, $10,000 today is 13 million.
Right.
In a year, let's say you live in, like my estate, for instance, rent is about 7 million a year. Remember, you are earning 13 million a year, a month. So 13 million times 12, you are earning 156 million. You will not even live in my estate. My estate is too small. You want to live in somewhere where it's like 15 million a year. So minus 15. So you have 141 million. Let's say for the first year, you want to buy 2 nice cars of 40 million. That's 80 million. You're not going to buy them again for another 3 years. Minus 80 million. You are left with 61 million. And at 80 million, you are driving nice cars. 40 million, at least 20,
Daddy, freeze.
19. Hold on. Now, your children, how many kids do you have?
I have 4.
Okay. Let's say each of them goes to 5 million naira a year school. That's minus 20 million.
Yes.
You are still left with 41 million naira to ball. You have bought car. You have rented house. Your children have gone to school. You still have money to travel. You still, as in the next year, you are going to still earn this money, and all you are paying is rent and school fees. So you're going to have like 100 and something million, and you are earning only $10,000 a month. Now imagine you are earning $20,000 a month. That is your combined income. Your husband brings 10, you bring 10, and you don't have to be in Canada. So you are sitting down in Nigeria, and you have 200 and something million. $20,000 a month in Canada, you live okay. $20,000 a month in Nigeria, they are going to make you local government chairman. Your husband will be local government chairman of his local government. You will be local government chairman, chairlady of your local government. Una go be chieftaincy, as in una go get privilege. So what am I trying to say is, at that stage, a lot of people say, oh, money is not everything. You want to raise your children where it's safe, and Nigeria is not safe while Canada is safe. You want to give them opportunity. I also worry about the mindset of children raised abroad. For me, it's a worry point, because they're going to tell your kids it's okay to be a girl if you were born a boy. They're going to tell you all these things are okay. They're going to try to push that agenda. They're going to make you extra emotional. You see, in Nigeria, we were raised to at least be able to control our emotions a little. Abroad, if you have emotions, pour it out. We love you. They create the system, but the moment they see that you are fragile, the system consumes you. So
I'm
it's
sorry,
not like...
Daddy Freeze, my children know that we're very, very Canadian, yes, but once they walk into, you see that school they go, once they walk into the door, it's a Nigerian household. Every other thing applies. They are very surrounded by their family members, just like the way it is in Nigeria. You know, they are very surrounded by family. Everybody is on top of their neck to behave well. That part, I did not trade it for anything. I refuse to trade it for anything in the system. You can give me every other thing, or you can give them the education, you can, yes, or that. But you see that our Niger upbringing, please, and that would be my own like advice to everybody, because some Nigerians literally come here and they're like, no, be so they do abroad, you go leave them. No, we're not leaving them.
Oh, of course.
We're not leaving them. You give them that same, you take the best of both cultures. You don't just lose guard and
I
say,
don't even have power to raise children abroad and start babying. I don't even get
I cannot baby children. Babying children does not help.
It doesn't.
Right? It doesn't help. They will become very lazy. So, well, it depends on you as a Nigerian abroad, what you really want out of it.
Influence at school as well.
Let us even hear this young lady that just joined us. She has not said anything. Before you speak, if you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter. My number one gifter is Lizzie Clark 56. Follow Lizzie Clark 56 right now. Pop my money guns. Follow my number one gifter. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. If you're watching on Instagram, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze. DADDYFREEZE. Click on today's video, bottom left hand corner. You will see how to buy my stars. Or yeah, come to Facebook. YouTube people, how una day? How hustlement? Not a single super chat or superstar. I go mute you now. You know, see, my cure for YouTube now just mute. Una no go just hear anything. Just go see video. So make una behave. I go come out to now. At least Facebook, some people don't buy small star. I know plenty. At least I get like 100 stars. I no go shout out to now until you buy 1,000 stars. So come over to Facebook. Once again, TikTok people, double click the screen. Follow my number one gifter, lady with the red. What's it called on your neck? Go ahead.
Robe. Good evening. Well,
good evening, my darling sister. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's almost 3 a.m. in the UK here. So I would say good morning, Daddy Freeze, Priye, and Oluwatosin. I guess I got your names right. Yeah, I just wanted to say hello and just joining the conversation. I'm not sure what to contribute, but I've been enjoying the conversation so far. Brilliant. And I do understand your perspective, Priye, and also your own perspective, Oluwatosin. I actually own a call center business here in the UK. So when you were talking about calls and everything, I was just laughing. You know, those soft skills you have to have, workstation, Priye, like you said, everything. I'm conversant with that. I've been doing that for over 10 years now here. Yes, regarding the topic, abroad day lonely, that was what I saw when I joined in for Daddy Freeze. Hold on. Abroad day lonely. Oh, yes, it can be lonely. Depends on how your own mindset. So, for example, if you are a single person, a single male or female, and you relocated from Nigeria to either UK, Canada, the abroad, outside of Nigeria, for the first time, you're going to get that culture shock. And the way they do things here, compliance, all of that, the same thing you said, Priye, and all that, it will be very, very different because that is not the way Nigeria works. We don't have those systems, those processes, those compliance. We don't have that. So it's like starting from ground zero to start learning again. So Yeah, and also if you are a quiet person and you know where you're going in life and you know what you want to achieve, I would say to some extent abroad is not lonely. Take me for example. I'm a multi-talented business owner. I'm a single person. So I am at the moment I am learning French. I'm learning guitar. I'm learning how to sew. On top of that, I have my own call center business and I'm also a financial educator. So imagine everything I do. Yeah. So if you want to go to my profile and have a look, I'm also an interior decorator. So I use my time wisely. You see what I mean? There is no time I'm bored or I'm lonely because I have my schedules. I'm constantly moving from one to the other, improving myself, improving my own personal growth, improving my work. Do you understand? Coaching my team. So there is a lot. So lot I'm doing. So there is no way you're gonna say you are lonely. If you know your goals and ambitions, if you want to achieve it, you focus on it. Yeah, subbing the code and get on with it. So all those things saying abroad is lonely, this, that. You have internet, you have light 247, you're paying for it. Make the most out of it. So anyone on this call now that is in the abroad, that is saying abroad is lonely, well, everyone has their own perspective and their own dreams and goals and what they want to achieve. I tell people, what is that thing that you want to achieve when you are by yourself? Think about it. I was speaking to a younger lady the other day. She's sort of I would say I'm coaching her. I would just put it that way. And I called her and she told me she's lonely. She's in Scotland. There's cold. There is storm. I said, my dear, storm has not removed your roof yet, so you are still alive. Thank God. People abroad, which those states that terrible hurricane happened and all that, and their home insurance is high up to the roof. You thank God for where you are. He said, I'm lonely. My husband is not here. I said, that podcast you wanted to do, are you researching on it? Have you researched on the equipment, how to start the podcast? I said, go to YouTube. You have lights. All the work you're working, you are paying for electricity. You are paying for Wi-Fi. You are paying for internet in the house. Use that time and do your research. Get your pen and paper. Even if you're on your bed, go to YouTube and start doing your research. I talked to her and then she was breathing. I said, it's not time for breathing. After you finish breathing this heavy breathing, go and do what I'm telling you to do. Look at what I'm doing. I've not even got around to do all the things that I want to do. And you are telling me that you are bored. Are you they whine me? Is that not how this is in Nigeria? You they whine me?
And you know, then again, we have to give kudos to the Nigerians that are breaking bounds, right? Do you know that, and many people do not know this, that do you know that right after the Toronto International Film Festival in Canada, right after, like the very next day, our Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival begins. And they give it almost the same level of recognition. Of course, it's not as big as the Toronto Film, but they give it almost that same level of recognition. Like this year, Chinese people were there, people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And the governments of different countries would always say it. I'm sure some of you in your states, you hear it a lot, like they're either maybe commending the Nigerian community or awarding somebody for being, and that's why I keep saying there are opportunities, but many people just come and just want to get a job and just expect everything to be handed over. No, it's the same level of hustle. But the good thing is, if you hustle, you will see your money.
You go
there's
see your
lights,
money.
there's
You go
roads,
get your paper.
motorable roads, there's lights, there are opportunities, it's a functioning system. So like I said, if you're intentional about getting the best of both worlds, you get the best of both worlds. That's how I can put it. Like, you will not throw away what you know as a Nigerian that works, especially what makes you productive. And then you would also not completely you won't leave what you know, but you won't say you're not open to learning and trying new things or a business. Open a business. Some Nigerians feel like, oh, if I open a business, I might not get patriotism. You will be surprised.
Babes, don't go there. Surprised. Don't even go there. I have my own food business as well. The food is not from Nigeria. I learned it. The skill. When your parents will tell you know how to cook, know how to clean, I also run my own short-let Airbnb business as well. I'm the
I
one that
have
clean
that
the house,
too.
decorate.
I have that too. In fact, I've expanded my number of properties now that I have dedicated cleaners.
My dear,
So you
Priye,
can
well
be
done.
expanding.
Yes, I'm also
People don't try
expanding.
things.
I
They don't
also
try
want
things and they're like,
people to
oh,
set up. Yeah, I also want people to set up their Airbnbs as well.
Now,
So there's a lot that you can do.
there's something I need to
There's a
tell you.
lot,
Yeah,
but
there's something I
here's
need to tell you. Yeah, in Nigeria, many people are used to. It's just because our economy is bad. You go to work, you come back, and you go to the club. By club, I don't mean nightclub. I mean maybe recreation
bar,
club,
just go and
club.
hang out, or
Just go and hang out, swim, play, have fun, spend time with your kids. Abroad is not that easy because, like this lady has said, by the time she's done with her guitar, with her this, with her that, and also you see, as a single person, the dynamics are different. Have
different.
and see whether this thing you are doing will not run you mad.
Yeah.
This thing, you see, all these things that you do, just have 2 children, 1 husband.
That's
See
why
whether they don't
I
carry you
couldn't
go
talk.
cycle.
I know, Daddy Freeze, I know.
See whether
They
they don't go carry you go cycle.
I just have a new
I
baby.
know,
How will
Daddy
you do
Freeze,
that?
I know. I'm just saying.
You no go touch, you go to look your guitar like this, no go touch until 3 years. Who go help you carry nappy? Then can't imagine say you come marry man, truck driver, where you see him 3 days a week.
Once a no, a lot of truck drivers have once a week.
They play guitar with the other one. They learn French. One day, the only
Daddy
language they go
Freeze,
learn now.
I'm talking about those people who never enter. And they talk about those people who never enter that line. You understand? You know, say life day in phases. You understand?
What I'm trying to say is, what I'm speaking for is, I'm speaking for the average 35 to 45-year-old that is married with kids.
Right.
Nigeria is much easier for you.
It is.
I won't lie. True. That was one of the things that hit me when I got here. I moved when I hadn't had my last born. It was my third, but she was just 9 months. And it didn't occur to me. I was where I had 2 maids, a driver, a laundryman. And it hit me like, There, you know how Momsi was strolling, go. My husband's Momsi was strolling, go. Like there was always that much needed support, right? That we had to do. But then again, another thing we live in abroad, you have to accept that it's in phases. Like what Daddy Freeze said, if you have children, small children at that, you have to be willing to say, okay, for the next 5 years, it's going to be just my bare minimum I can give, right? Then you pick up the pace. Like for me, my life started picking up the pace when my last born started, growing and going. So everybody steps out of the house and I'm like, glory. Now I have time to do what I need to do before they close from school, right? So you also have to accept it. Like, you just have to accept that it's a different life, right?
It is.
And
so that's why I said from my own perspective, right? If I I mean, it's draining because there's nobody around to help. My husband is out there. And I'm here. The funniest part is this baby, I had like 7 years of, that gap space to have this new baby. So it's really taking tons on me. Trust me, in fact, the day I was going to the hospital, I drive myself, I was driving around all through my pregnancy. There's nobody who you won't call. I have friends, but they are busy, they are working. I can't tell them to put their work on, first for me. They have bills to pay too as well. So I had to drive myself to the hospital. In fact, my husband met me there. Even after I had the baby, I think the third day I've started driving around to go and get some stuff done. It's really. I mean, before I had my baby, I've even started health IT. I was traveling, being a consultant and all that.
Somebody
but now that I have the
baby,
baby,
say Miss Vita, you there here? Sorry. I
So I had
understand
to
your
put
point of view.
everything on
It's
pause.
just
So that's
proper
what I'm saying.
planning. Yeah.
Right.
It's proper planning, and you just have to have an open mind. Like I said, some
Yeah.
people don't have an open mind. Then some people too will come, they'll say, I must stick to my passion. Eh? Ross, that your
Passion.
that
That
your
your
passion.
passion.
That your passion was probably passioning in Nigeria. It's not passioning
Yeah.
here. It doesn't just
And you also have to have a
yeah.
support system and good planning with your partner. Do you
Right.
understand? Because it's not
Right.
easy. I have those people that are
Also,
saying Miss Gita. I have friends that are married here. In fact, we're in the same city. We've not seen for 2 years. In fact, I was trying to arrange a dinner with one of them last weekend. She told me she thought that it was next weekend. I said, but madam, check the date now. I said it was last weekend. Do you get me now? So it's not easy. We're in the same city,
Now.
but we've not seen 2 years old.
Right.
Do you understand? So
Imagine.
people that are saying it's brutality, I know. I have almost all my friends. They have 1 or 2 children. It's not easy.
It's not
You invite them to
easy.
dinner.
It's
You
not
invite them to
easy.
dinner. They will
And
not come. Who they live with children for?
honestly, like I said, some people will say, why are you complaining? We are doing okay and well. My husband caters for all the bills. But me as a person, I'm not that type that I want to wait for you to give me something before I can, I'm not that type. If I even this is, I'll say, just keep ordering stuff.
Do you know
You the order,
that
they will
depending
come.
on your sorry, Oluwatosin, do you know depending on your visa, I'm not sure, we're not going to discuss that here on this call. But do you know you can do some work that is just admin based, paperwork at home, online. You don't
Of
need to be on the
course.
phone.
Of
Yeah.
course, I've been on it though. I've been on it. I've been, non-phone call and all that. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
really. Before
Data
you
entry
go
or
on
paperwork.
LinkedIn, you apply for a job and you see that like 600 people have already applied. And when it go reach
Just
your
keep
turn,
applying. You will get one. And
never stop.
don't stick to
Even
one.
on
Don't stick
Indeed,
to one.
I
Stick to
never
like
stop.
3 on
I don't apply
contract
like
or on
500
temporary
different,
basis.
All these
Yeah,
people
just be
that they
hopping
talk now
from one to
magic.
one.
So person go apply for like 50 jobs. Meanwhile, Nigeria, you
Yeah.
get one job, you go just they chill.
no, but that
Chicken.
difference,
There is
people don't get
nobody.
jobs in Nigeria.
500.
People don't get
Indeed.
jobs in Nigeria. Almost every
Everywhere.
Nigerian is an entrepreneur because there are no jobs.
Yes,
You always
now.
have to find. You
No,
have
but
to
I'm saying if
find
you get a good job, like in the breweries or in an
that
oil
the freeze.
company.
How many people? All those oil companies now, if you don't have masters from University of Bristol
I'm telling
or
you,
somewhere in
you're not giving.
America,
You are relaxing.
the multinational companies in
Company.
Nigeria now, they're also very picky. They are still even looking for the I just got back to come and still work for them. So they make it hard for the locals, the people that have schooled there, though very talented, very skilled. They will still just, I don't know why they compared them like that, right? You still have less of a chance. So our system too is part of the problem. Like you said, there's suffering in the system. There's no regulation for the labor force where you cannot discriminate. So discrimination is at an all-time high. That's why one man will just employ one girl because her skin is glowing and leave the real people that can do the work.
That one will help me to sell my market. That one is Yori Yori.
If
It's in front.
These days, they don't even employ because of skin. Nah, front and back. Waiting for anybody with skin.
Assets that the freeze.
Now front and back. Let them push the market.
I'm telling you.
Let the market move.
The real people that will strategize and take the company to this next level, they will not employ them. So the problem is from top to bottom.
Sorry, ladies. Who can somebody has to leave so I can bring somebody in.
I'll go.
No, you wait.
I'll
like
wait.
Your gist.
Okay.
And the first lady to actually wanted you to stay because you were the first. But anyway, I'll bring you back. Tosin, Abby,
okay.
I got that right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But you have to leave by yourself.
Okay.
So we've had this conversation several times in different dimensions, and it's always an interesting convo. So let me bring in the next person, Cindy. They will say that the free is too like women. But my problem is the men look very strong. They look like they will come here carrying a weapon. Like, why is my eye strong like this? Cindy, how are you?
I'm good, Daddy Freeze. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now go ahead.
Based on the topic that you guys are talking about,
Yeah.
I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old.
If you are watching on TikTok, by the way, double click the screen. Follow my #1 gifter. If you are watching on TikTok, oh yeah, continue your story.
I have a 3-year-old or 2-year-old. My parents live here, okay, and still there's no help. I have my mom, my dad, my sister. Everybody carry your own load because
Hey.
I'm a full-time wife. I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time mom. It's crazy. And then imagine living here, and while giving birth, you have a whole lot of complications. Like I had within 2 years, I had 5 major surgeries. Now I drove myself. Like I had with my first son, I had like a massive fibroid. So that one, my mom was around for that one because I was on bed rest all through my pregnancy. But my second one, I was having like back pain. I told my husband, I'm like, I don't want to take any medication. Let me drive to the hospital so they could at least if they give me an IV, you know, that will help. My parents are in South Carolina. I'm in Texas. My sister is in California. So my husband was at home at that time with my 1-year-old. I got on the road. I went to the hospital. They said, oh, Cindy, your uterus has ruptured. At almost 7 months pregnant. So they had to cut me open. It was only me. My husband couldn't come because nobody to watch our 1-year-old. So I was in the hospital by myself. The baby was cut out of me by myself. I was in ICU. My son was barely 2 pounds when my son Noah came out. He was barely 2 pounds. He was in the NICU for 2 months. I was no help. I mean, when I got home and my son was still in the hospital, that's when I started cooking the stuff to put it in the freezer so that I could at least have something to eat. And my mom didn't make it down here till I think 2 months after my son came back from the hospital, and then she stayed for like 2 weeks. Then she had to go back to work and to her husband. Me and my husband, we had to duke that out. Like it was like, baby, oh yeah. My husband
in Nigeria, a house girl now $50K a month.
What are you talking like this? I'm telling you. But you know the funny thing, it builds character. For me,
it builds character, strength, and independence.
Because let me tell you,
you see that resilience.
Hey, see how they describe suffer. They say now resilient.
No, the suffer or that
it makes it.
You gonna learn.
You gonna
learn. Or you gonna learn the hard way.
It makes you understand that look, when shit comes to shove, you got it's you.
Telling you, like,
it's you because
if I tell you the amount of people that work for me, the only thing I don't have is a maid, and that's because my son is young, and we get cook. I get people where they wash my motor. Now they are work. They must come every day wash all my cars. I get Ghana. I get.
Daddy Freeze, because you earn in dollars.
See,
it's not about the average Nigerian. The average
you earn in dollars. That's why you are balling.
The average Nigerian at a certain level, because labor is cheap. You have to understand that all these things I'm saying, you don't reach 200,000 a month. You don't reach 200,000 a month.
I'm telling you, I have one of my friends. one of my friends was born and raised here. She got married. She moved to Nigeria. She's like, she can't do it. She moved to like, my day starts like this. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. I take a shower. I get my kids' stuff ready. I wake them up. I shower them. I get them ready. Noah goes to daycare. Ion goes to pre-K. Then I drop them off. Then I head to work. And I do 8 to 10 hours at work. I come back, pick them up, bring them home, cook dinner for myself and my husband. Sometimes if I make it home before my husband, I have to get dinner ready. Sometimes if he makes it home, he will make dinner. And then we start all over. Saturdays, I go and braid hair. I like to braid. That's my hustle. I will go and braid hair, or I cook. I take.
How much this thing that's not?
Or I take
Somebody
orders to cook.
I've not entered the kitchen to boil an egg in the last 5 years.
You guys are enjoying.
I wish I could take a picture of what we had today. As in, they will grill the fish, put rice for one side, put vegetable for one side, put sauce for one side, come wrap on the side. That's not like saying hotel.
Enjoyment galore. That
as in, I don't know. As in, the way they talk this thing, if I fear abroad normally, I don't begin to fear abroad times 50. I go wake up 4 o'clock. If I wake up 4 o'clock, the world.
At the mention of abroad, they fear.
Say human beings wake up 4 o'clock. Even when I did hustle, my highest hustle, when I was 25 years old, I was not waking up 4 o'clock. You know, waiting before 4 o'clock.
But people are waking up 4 o'clock in Lagos. So
I wake up.
People are waking up 4 o'clock in Lagos. Those that have to come in from mainland to islands.
Our portion. For me, I would say I've always been lucky because I lived on the island and worked on the island. So the highest amount I've had to commute was from Ikoyi to VI. I stayed with my uncle and aunt for my first year in Ikoyi, and I worked in VI. So I just crossed the bridge, come down. It took about 45 minutes. So if I leave my house at 7:30, I should be in the office by 8:30. And to leave my house at 7:30, I could wake up at 6:30 or 6:45. Then I moved to Dolphin. I now had to start waking a little earlier because Dolphin was a little bit further back. So I wake up by 6, leave the house by 7, be at the office by 8:30. Then when I moved into my compound in VI, I will wake up at 8:30 and get to the office but I wake up at 8, jump into the shower and get to the office by 8:30. And even that time I was waking up at 8, I thought I was suffering. I used to imagine that, how can I not sleep till 10 and go to work? I used to tell them at work, I'm like, can't I just come in at 11 or 10? And then instead of closing at 5, I'll close at 8. So when you say you are waking up at 4 o'clock, and it's not like you are waking up at 4 o'clock to catch a flight, or you are waking up at 4 o'clock to attend an event, or you have a one-off for maybe 1 week. It is your lifetime to wake up at 4 o'clock. Don't be angry for me. That is the highest level of suffer.
I'm sorry, I've never woken up at 4 o'clock. It's my fault today. We will sleep our complete 8 hours sleep.
I have to wake up at 4 because if I wake up at 4 together, I have to wake up at 4 because if I don't wake up at 4, I can't make it to work by 8 because then I have to drop the kids off. My son's school starts at 7:30, so I have to drop. He has to be there before 7:30. So once they open the door, he goes in because it's only 3. He goes in. I have to drive all the way to work and go to work.
Everybody's saying like, wow.
Like
it's because it's a schedule. It's a schedule.
I would never take a job that will put me through that. I'm sorry.
But you know my
mental health matters.
I can't work nights. I'm a morning person. Like I rather go to work early in the morning than work late.
Going to work early in the morning. Which one is 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock is still yesterday.
That Daddy Freeze, you have to wake up by 4 and do some
But
cleaning.
Daddy Freeze, look,
4 o'clock, some
Prepare
people
for
are
school.
still in the club, safe.
Daddy
I'm
Freeze,
telling you,
my
4 o'clock.
my dad
They've
is,
not slept.
Guess what? Guess what? In Nigeria now is 3:24. 4 o'clock is 30 minutes from now. When I get off this live,
Something in UK.
wait, when I get off this live next 10 minutes, I'm going to go and eat prawn that they've grilled and calamari. That's what I'm having.
Then you got knock on better sleep.
But I'm used to it because my dad is he's in the military. So growing up, he will wake us up early in the morning. We go
try that thing, Baba, na World War. My papa try it now. My papa will say he will wake you up, say make you go pray. Me and they tell her, say God never wake. My papa will tell me, what do you mean God never sleeps? I say God created me in his image. I am tired. If I was in his image, that means he's tired at this time too. Now you God no create for image. Which one be this one? Early morning. Even thief by now don't just they go out.
I can't remember the last time I slept past, even on weekends. I can't remember the last time I slept past 6:30. I can't remember the last time I slept past 6:30 because.
Let me tell you, to me, there are some things in life that are luxury.
Mm-hmm.
I like watch. You see my diamond watch. I like watch. I like cloth. I like shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them more than my sleep. I like cars, and I have very nice cars. My oldest, as in my car, inside my garage. My oldest car is 2022 and 2023 motor, brand new. It's not more than my sleep. If you ask me, do you want to have the cars and wake up at 4 a.m. One they come and they carry them, they go. You understand what I'm saying? For me, the highest luxury is sleep.
Yeah, but
the second highest luxury is my time.
Yeah.
That I can sit down and plan my time and say, okay, I feel like going to the mall to go and look at what they have in the mall on a weekday.
Mm-hmm.
And my son is on midterm, so he's at home. So every day I just say, yo, where are we going today? And we wear clothes and we go and eat a burger, or we go to the mall. As in tomorrow we just find somewhere and go. That to me is, I have more flexible time than my wife. My wife has less flexible time than I do. To me, that's the highest luxury. Has inflexible time. You call me now and say, Mo go play for London. I go wear my clothes, pack my bag. Mo they go.
Mm-hmm.
So any work for this life, we want to collect those two luxuries from me. Do you know that even this one that I have to be awake and be attending to my American and Canadian customers is stress?
Yeah.
Because I have to sleep. The earliest I can sleep is 11. I have to be up by 1 and attend to you people and gist with you people till 3:30. It's still stress. But guess what? Once I'm done, I can sleep till 11.
Yeah,
nothing is chasing me. And when I wake up at that 11, I'm not rushing anywhere. I roll to the side of my bed, attend to some things on the phone. You understand?
Yeah, sometimes I get up early.
So a lot of people have this abroad, but like I'm trying to let you realize, if I don't have my time and if I don't have my sleep,
it's gonna be a bad day.
It's not a bad day. It's suffer for me. It's like I can start crying, and I'm not emotional. I will not begin to cry because it doesn't look like I wasted my whole life. If I cannot buy two luxuries, sleep and time, I can wake up tomorrow and decide, you know what, I'm not doing any work. I want to watch a movie. Movie time.
Okay.
When you call me Daddy Freeze, I want to book you. I will look at all my time. Ask my son, hey, what are we doing today? We're not doing anything here. I can't look my schedule. Say, okay, come now. Do you understand? I don't have anywhere I have to be.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up, I make sure I don't have anywhere I have to be. I create my world. That to me is the highest luxury.
That's why we That's where we are trying to get to. We are trying to get there.
But the truth, yeah.
Do you
See,
know that
I would just say this
even in
because I will
Nigeria,
need
I
to
never
go
did
in a
school
bit.
runs. I've never done school run before for any child. Unless the principal says we must come to the school, they have to meet us. Baba, there's school bus. Any amount they are paying for school bus, I will pay school bus. Any amount, I can't do that school run.
But when your children were younger, Daddy Freeze, you can't just put them on the school bus now. You have to
my children started
bring
school
them
bus when they were 8.
Yeah,
okay,
I can put my
now, luckily
is
for
it
me,
not their
my
move?
first set of kids, the school was across the road, literally.
Oh,
So now
you're lucky.
Now leg and hand that they use. So if my
Now
ex
you
took them to school in the morning,
Okay.
I will go and pick them with leg and bring them home. So I'll carry the
come
smaller
back.
one and walk the bigger one, and we cross the road and enter the house.
Oh,
It was
good.
a 4-minute walk.
Yeah.
It was a blessing, not luck. Because like I said, I like to own my time. Even at a time when they had to go to school and we had to do school run, we're staying in VI on Aboya Dekol and the school was in 1004. So you could just pass back, go, drop them, come back. It was
again, Daddy Freeze, that's proper planning now. Are you listening to what you're saying? That's proper planning.
But you see, that was when they were
those.
young. The moment they got to like, what is 8? One was 6, one was 4, the other one was like 7. Almost school bus. Anti-day school bus. Anti-day school bus. Not, you see, by school bus, when in America, you hear that big yellow thing where they carry school bus. They get anti, we go follow them, especially if they are young.
Yeah.
So they all, my baby Freeze, started entering school bus when he was 3 years old.
I can't.
I can't. But he was, he had 3 elder siblings or 2 older siblings in that school, in the same school. Because the school was a nursery school, a primary school, Caleb, and a secondary school.
So it was easier because they were all in the
primary school and the one with the baby class, all of them carried inside
all
bus.
inside. Yeah.
I just wake up in the morning like 10 o'clock and I know they've all gone to school. Then around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they start arriving.
And who prepares them for school? Their mothers.
Prepare themselves.
Oh.
You have a 10-year-old who is preparing a 10-year-old, and you have an 8-year-old who is preparing a 10-year-old.
My kids
now.
My kids prepare themselves.
There's always that one-off when the mom will just wake up and say, okay, did they have their bath well? Did they wash their clothes? Did they iron their clothes? But you see, my kids were so, how do I put it? They were so well, because they know that I'm not going to do it. And you have to do it, I have to do it well. So they matured so early.
Yeah.
They wake up, sometimes I'm watching TV at 5 a.m. I just heard the alarm go off. They getting up ready, getting themselves ready, off to school. Yeah. And it paid me off because during COVID, we had a cancer patient staying with us, one of our family members. Immediate, not 2020, 2021. It was a very tough year. The children were still being homeschooled. It was still that COVID period. And then we had to shuttle every morning for 3 months to the cancer center.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a very trying time. If the kids were not raised to take care of the house and take care of themselves and sort themselves out, we would die that period, because you have to be babying them and taking care of. And going to the cancer center required me and my wife together every day. Because as we are going in, you are going to go to the radiation department and go and queue. This other person is going to go. And that was the best. The INSEAD Cancer Center in Louth is the best cancer center in the country. We got amazing results. But every morning you go wake up, begin the drive, go there, and it took 3 months. It was a 3-month, Monday to Friday, dedicated time. And guess what? My kids were young. The youngest was about 13 then, and she was running the house. Now, the one that was about to do SSC, we just carried her and dropped her in boarding school, because we knew that if she was at home, cleaning, doing all, she will not study. So we just carried the child, dropped off in boarding school so that she can do her exams and pass and not have any distractions. Yeah. So it was the youngest daughter that was running the house. And guess what? She was so mature, because when that phase was over, you would not believe she's in the uni now. We just said, okay, you are young, try WAEC, bram, she passed. Okay, try JAMB, bram, she passed. More like play, picking on go uni. And all that dedication, that hard work, all the while they are doing everything they are doing, they are still studying. So I raise my kids to be very independent. I don't baby any children. I wake up in the morning and drive you to school. You must be joking. And I'll not hire. We did it once. We bought a brand new car, hired the driver. The driver wrecked the car in 1 year. After that, I said, not me and anybody. Nigerian driver. He will be rushing to go and pick the children. On his way, he'll stop and go and greet his girlfriend. They'll be driving the car anyhow so he can quickly get to the school. I just carried them and put on the bus. One family member came and said, this is so expensive because we're paying like 100,000 per child per bus. So we're paying 300K. When $100 was 35,000, we're paying like $250 per child for only bus. My family member said, why don't you hire a driver? I said, please, it's expensive to you, it's not expensive to me. Peace of mind is cheap. No matter how much they sell it, if they sell peace of mind for 1 million naira, please buy.
Yeah.
Peace of mind is cheap. Stress is expensive. But people don't get it. Those people that pick pennies. Me, I don't look and say, my luxury. I need rest. I need sleep. I need time for myself. This hiring driver, the driver calling me that there's no fuel, and I can't deal. Now, let me now tell you the highest one. So, when my daughter started doing SSC exams, she was doing extra lessons in this school. So, she couldn't come home with the bus anymore. I paid for the bus, but the bus leaves at normal school closing time. They have to stay 2 hours extra. I looked the Peking one day. I give her a phone. I say, take. Oh yeah, this is how you use Uber. Just send me the picture of the Uber. I'll order the Uber to your school. You get in, tell me the Uber, and come home. My Peking begin enter Uber. My neighbor, they look me and say, is she not too young to enter? One day I was waiting, my neighbor was outside. I said, he's waiting for his child to come with the Uber. I said, you two don't learn them. You don't learn this Uber. My neighbor said, Papa, after a while, my neighbor called me. I'm sending an Uber to the kids' school. Is your daughter going to go with mine? I said, I've already sent for an Uber to the first Uber that gets to the school. Let him pick both of them. So if not me, my Uber, I pick them, now me go pay, and my luck. If not Uber get there, because my daughter and my neighbor's daughter were in the same school, in the same class. So sometimes he had a driver. Sometimes he'll send his driver, they'll come home. Sometimes the driver is running an errand, they'll come home with an Uber. They learned how to be responsible. One guy came one day, wrote one long, as they see me like this, nobody like Uber reach me. I just sit down at the back, get on my phone, I'm doing my work, he's driving me. Convenience. Any amount of money they sell, it is cheap. Stress is expensive. So I'm driving in Lagos, I'm driving. Avoiding last month, having to enter my phone. No, I only drive when I drive my sports car and I'm speeding and I'm revving. I hear boom, boom, boom. That's when driving is sweet. Or when I'm driving around the island, anything that will require me leaving the island, call that Uber. Any amount they are calling it is not expensive.
Yeah. So
I learned the art of convenience. For my convenience, I will pay any price. So the guy was like, Uber is not safe, Uber is not safe. I just look at him and say, how do you think me at the worker for Lagos?
That's not even realistic. Even abroad, there is now Uber for teens where people,
the guy was saying it's unsafe, is this, is that, wrote one plenty article. I had to block the guy on my page. Because first of all, he was very rude. Secondly, he was very dumb.
Yeah.
These Gen Z children. You go, they sleep, they go come out house for 12 midnight. Run, go watch movie with their friends. Come back at 1 a.m. You don't go know until you catch them. Now you tell them, say, you then gonna go enter that Uber during the day. You better teach them how to enter that Uber. Just teach them to be smart.
Yeah. What I've gathered from all what you said, Daddy Freeze, is, to be honest, I think you planned your life properly. Do you understand? You had
Very
some
properly.
sort of arrangement, an agreement with your partner and the children. Do you understand? So I would say the same principle should apply to anyone abroad as well. Like you mentioned, the one thing I picked from what you said at first, in terms of when your children were very young, that convenient nearness, their school, nearness to the home and all that. So I think that's one thing people abroad should consider as well. You get me? It's never too late. Yeah,
but
maybe.
The school can't be. That's the thing. The district have to zone your kids to where they have to go to school. Then if you want them to go somewhere else, the bus won't take them. Now you are responsible for transportation. So we don't have that luxury to say, oh, the school is it's right next door. Let me go to that one. The district have to zone. So that's the thing. That's the difference.
And then they don't provide the school bus for them at all. No,
I know some people who are intentional about sending their kids to private schools abroad just so they can have this luxury as well, right? Because it's like you said, with the normal school system, the public one, they zone and you have to go by, your postal code or zip code or stuff like that. But with the private schools, I think they are kind of intentional about how they make transportation available regardless, right? That's not always the case, but it's a common thing, especially with people in America. They try to send their kids to private. So it just depends on how much you're willing to, put in. But I feel like I will never wake up at 4 a.m. for anything. Like, I can wake up at 4 a.m. for my personal hustle. But you see, another man's business, another man's, employment, no.
No, but she's not waking up because of employment now.
It's partly.
I have to take, if I had help, you guys live here now. You guys know how much a nanny is. Or is it daycare? For daycare a month is what? Almost $2,000.
I have a friend because childcare is pretty expensive in Canada, right? Except you're lucky enough to get subsidy.
If you're watching on TikTok.
Yeah, except you're lucky enough to get subsidy, then it goes down. But I have a friend who got a job, and it was supposedly a good job. When we looked at the offer, this is great too. Then they now said they were not subsidizing her childcare, and she's like, so they will not take this amount of money. So I'll wake up in the morning, bathe, dress my kids, take them to the daycare. They weren't in school yet at the time, and then they will take more than half of my salary. Why don't I just not work and do business from home somehow? She gave up on that because at the end of the day, it didn't look good. It's only a good job for the aesthetics. People will see you and say, oh, you do this or you work here. Oh, that's a great job. But guess what? Your work-life balance is going to be shaky.
I have life-work balance. Life-work. Which one is work-life? No, life.
Somebody suggested that her husband should help. Sorry, is it Cindy?
It's me. Let me tell you, I'm not in the school of thought that a man should do everything. My husband help. My husband has to be at his office. He works for the VA office. He has to be at his job. He drives 1 hour.
This Cindy is a good wife.
He has to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. He has to be sitting on his desk at 4 o'clock in the morning. So what are you talking about? Where I'm lacking, he picks up. Where he's lacking, I pick up. So my pickup is in the morning.
Partnership.
It's a partnership.
Work-life balance. You have work balance because your life is work.
Yeah.
At this point, you are right.
To be sincere, sometimes I don't know. I'm still trying to get myself to that point where
that even when I lived in Nigeria, even when I was young and hustling, I did not have to go through this. This thing where you go through no easy.
I'm telling you,
People that live in
not
Ikorodu,
this.
people that live in Festac and work in VI, they went through it.
Yeah.
I did it for 1 year for my youth service. I was leaving Magodo to Ikoyi every morning. So I was leaving in Magodo at 5:30.
So you were waking up at 4.
I was waking up at maybe to 5. You know, then I was single, nothing.
So you have children, you wake up at 4 very easily. Anyway, my lovely people, let me go and sleep. It's almost 4 o'clock.
Let's go and sleep.
For Cindy to wake up.
It's almost time for Cindy to wake up.
Time for me to go to bed.
Yeah,
You're going to have less than 6 hours sleep. What's your time zone, Cindy?
Huh?
What's your time zone?
Central. It's 9:45 p.m. right now.
9:45. Your 6 hours do not complete. All right, bye.
Even my own 6 hours no they complete because I have insomnia issues in my older age.
That's why you're always lying.
That's why you cannot sleep.
Also, I sleep 3 hours. I have to wake up. Then I will do something and sleep maybe another 4 hours if I'm lucky.
That
is very
fast. I'm like you. I'm like you.
Very bad.
Same thing. You sleep like 4 hours, then wake up, do one small thing, then start again.
Start again.